Hey guys, welcome back to 9 to 5ers, and we're going to be speaking specifically about productivity today. And I had a lot of people come up to me and they've asked me, they say, Joe, I know it comes down to time or money, and I feel like I don't have either. How can you help me? Those are two different animals to tackle. So what we're going to focus in on this video and the next video that accompanies it, we're going to focus on being productive and not just being busy. So please use the following information for educational purposes only. We are not lawyers, certified public accountants, or financial advisors, or health advisors. Please seek professional advice as needed. Thank you so much. All right, and just a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. Why do I want to become more productive? What's the purpose? Why do I want to do this? Planning, planning, planning. And the reason why I put that 3 times is because I feel that planning is at least 50% of being productive. It's planning and execution. And if you don't plan properly, it's hard to execute efficiently. Detail the workday. We're going to detail out a workday on how you should kind of set up your day. And not all work is equal. There's 3 different basic types of work, and we're going to kind of get into each one of those. And checks and balances. We're going to see if you actually are being productive or you're just being busy. And we're going to dive a little bit into root cause problems, the problems that go a little bit below the surface or way below the surface, and we have to figure them out through other means. And going from good to great. Are we good at being productive? Well, how can we be great at being productive? So there is a method to my madness. We're going to go through everything here all at once. It's going to be kind of like drinking from a fire hose, and it's going to be basic. It's going to kind of follow a logical flow. You'll find parts in this that are easy. Some of this will be hard for you, and some of this you're going to have to kind of create your own path. You're going to have to kind of take what I have here and put it into your own life and just kind of make it work and use a little bit of finesse, so to speak. So the mindset here is a kind of a thought process going from left to right here. So think of an axe. Like an axe is sharp, but it's not as sharp as a sword. And a sword is not as sharp as a dagger. And if you go all the way to the right here, a scalpel is not as sharp as a double-edged razor. And the point I'm trying to make here is that you're going to watch this video and you're going to kind of be in the axe territory. You're going to get it. It's going to make some sense, and you're going to set a basic plan into place. And it's going to have some results, but you're going to run into some problems along the way, and things will not move as perfectly and as effortlessly as possible. And you're going to want to rewatch the video and sharpen yourself up a little bit and become a sword, and then move the dagger. Well, if you ever want to become a millionaire or a billionaire or just financially free in general, you're going to want to try to get to that scalpel or double-edged razor level if you ever want to be as efficient and as effective with your time as you possibly can, because we all get 24 hours in the day, but some of us used it better than others. So think of it as it's always a continual process of getting better at becoming more productive. So why do you want to become more productive? What's the point? Well, maybe you want to set a good example for your employees. Maybe you're trying to get a promotion. You want to work from home, and that's a challenge because you got family at home, and it's not as easy as they say it is. There's different challenges from working from home versus working in an office. Maybe you're running your own business. Maybe you're the CEO of a business, and you're also the guy that takes out the trash. Well, as that business grows, you're going to have to hire on employees or at least virtual assistants, and you're going to have to delegate some tasks and move things around, and becoming more productive is going to be that glass ceiling that gets you to the next level or prevents you from getting to the next level. And reach a new level of personal growth. Maybe you just want to become more productive personally, or fill in the blank. Doesn't matter. Whatever. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about that. I'm basically saying is that your reason is your own, and it needs to be your reason. It needs to be for you specifically. It needs to be a strong reason. It needs to get you through those tough parts where you're just kind of like, I don't care about if I'm more productive or not. It has to be worthwhile. Whatever your goal is to become more productive, why do you want to become more productive? What worthwhile goal is on the other side of that? I mean, no one wants to become more productive just for the sake of being more productive. It's a means to an end. What does that mean? What does that end? Emotional. It needs evoke a strong emotional response, positive, negative. It doesn't matter. It needs to get you up. It needs to get you out of your comfort zone. And like I said before, it needs to be personal, guys. It needs to be personal to you, not what your neighbor wants for you or your politician wants for you or your spouse wants for you. It needs to be a personal reason why you want to do it. And this is where we start here at the belief system here down on the left. We have to believe we actually become more productive. And that is going to directly influence our behaviors. And our behaviors are going to influence our results. If we change our behaviors, we're going to change our results. It's a one-to-one scenario there. And when our results change and we see better results, that's going to change our belief system even more. And your incremental growth is going to become exponential. This beliefs equals behaviors leads to results, leads back to beliefs is actually something that I have above my computer right now. And I look at it every single day. You have to believe you can actually do it. That's where you have to start at. So step one, this is going to be a higher level view where you need to be planning. Planning is, I feel, is the most important part of it. I know that executing is important too, but plan out your week as if you already have succeeded. So pretend that it's a week from now and you're looking back into the past. What made this week so successful? What did it look like? What did you do? What did you avoid doing? What was so important? And if there was only one thing you could get done all week, what would that be? Ask yourself these questions and ask yourself as if it already happened. My week was so successful because I did this, and I only did this until it was done. And I avoided these things because these things don't bring any value. And I did this because I did these three things because they were all important. Well, why were they important? They're important because of this. Prime your brain. And also do this on like a Saturday or a Sunday. You don't want the current week to be kicking you in the pants and distracting you. And the reason why I put down Saturday and Sunday is because you're not at work and you're not distracted with it. And you're also gearing up for Monday. You don't want to be doing it Monday morning. You don't want to be planning Monday morning for Monday. It's not going to work out for you. So do it on a Saturday or Sunday. It shouldn't take you all day. Just maybe like an hour, half an hour. It could be 15 minutes. Who knows? The better you get at planning, the more productive you're going to be actually at planning. And planning for me, it used to take like 2 hours to plan out an entire week. Now it takes about 15 minutes. So find a quiet spot in your house or your office and list everything that you want to get accomplished this week. And this is a no filter brain dump. So everything in your brain, just dump it out on the page and don't stop until your brain says empty. After you do that, go item by item and filter through it. If I got this one thing done and nothing else, would I have had a successful week? What we're trying to figure out here is if this one item is a should or a could. A should is something that you actually should do. Something that is actually important. Something that's going to move the ball forward in your personal, business, professional, health, life. Or is it something you could do? I could wash the truck. I could rake the leaves. Those things are coulds. And organize your shoulds and coulds. So take all of your shoulds, put them on the left-hand side, take all of your coulds, put them on the right side of the piece of paper, and then filter in your shoulds first throughout the week and prioritize it. Put your most important should at the top. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, Joe, I have my most important should, and it's not scheduled till Thursday. Okay, well, fine, put that on Thursday. But for argument's sake, we're trying to put the most important stuff first, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And when you're doing this, only put maybe 1 to 2 shoulds per day. Make sure they all get on there. Before any coulds get on there, all of your shoulds get on there. But don't jam it all on Monday because you're going to run into a brick wall with this. If you have some space left over on your day or you think you got some time left over that you can get all these shoulds done, then throw a couple of coulds in there. The coulds will get done. Don't worry. We'll figure out a way to get those done. But the shoulds need to get done first. They're the highest priorities. And do this day by day and then make sure everything's on there for the entire week. So let's overview the workday, just a high level here. So you create success by preparing for it. Your hardest task first, and maybe the only task. Like I said, if you have 10 shoulds that need to get done, don't front load them all to Monday. They're not all going to get done because the shoulds are more than likely harder things to do. They're more complicated, they're more complex, they take more time. It's going to drain you more mentally or physically. And put them in there, hard to medium to easy. And this is also mental or physical. And I keep putting mental or physical up here because let's take two different professions. Let's say on one hand, you're a CPA. You're going to be doing more mental labor than you are physical labor. And that's the type of task that you should be putting here. So you're more mental focused and it's going to be hard to medium to easy. Same thing as if you are in, let's say, a contractor. A contractor does have to think. You know, they're a skilled trade and not everybody can do what they do, just like a CPA. But they have a lot more physical labor in their job classification than, say, does a CPA. So if you're a contractor, you would put your, or an electrician or somebody like that, you would put your harder physical stuff at the beginning of the day, because once that is knocked out, it's downhill from there. You're going to be good to go. Same thing with the mental. You do your hardest task, your hardest mental task at the beginning of the day, and you know, oh, that's done. Perfect. Now the rest of the day looks a little bit brighter. And when your brain runs dry, do something physical. So if you are the CPA in this, or the person doing the mental task, that means you've been doing mental stuff all morning long. Flip the script and go out and do something physical. And we'll give you examples of some physical stuff later on. Same thing if you're a physical person. If you're doing contracting stuff all day, flip and do something mental to get the brain moving again. Get it something that you enjoy doing. And we'll give examples later on. Recharge your mind and your body. If you're a mental person, you're going to recharge your brain through your body. And if you're a physical person doing physical tasks, you're going to recharge your body through your brain. At the end of the day, you're going to be doing loose ends and you're going to recap what worked, what didn't work, what could have been better, what surprised you, what went perfect. Awesome. Let's do that again. And that's going to help you plan tomorrow. Planning is always a moving target. You can plan everything out on Sunday night, and then Monday morning comes and everything goes to chaos, and you have to readjust, reschedule, and things move around and things change. Okay. You're going to do that by planning the next day every single day throughout the week, so you have the most efficient and effective week as you possibly can. So let's detail out the workday, like an actual work day, and let's just focus on the morning here. So morning, healthy breakfast, shower, dress. Okay. Why are we doing that? Why is that important? We're creating some wins through some discipline. We're eating a healthy breakfast. A healthy breakfast is going to give us the brain power and the physical, the nutrients that we need to get through all the way to lunch. We're not going to skip breakfast or whatever. And I put these things in here as examples. Like, you can mix things around, add things, subtract things, whatever. Shower, you're going to wake up, you're going to be reinvigorated you're going to be fully awake when you get out of the shower. You're going to feel great. And you're going to dress. When I say dress, you're going to dress to the level where you look nice. You look like a professional. Even if let's say that you are a contractor and you don't wear a suit and tie to work. Well, you could have a nice, clean, pressed uniform that doesn't have a bunch of dirt and stains and oils on it. You're going to look sharp. You're going to look like you're a professional, and that's going to make you feel like a professional. Yes, you are a professional as in the regards of your skill level, but sometimes you cannot feel like a professional by the way that you look. Same way with someone that works in an office building. If you come in and your clothes don't fit right and they got dirt on them, they're torn or stained or whatever, and you're not dressing properly for work, you're not going to be mentally prepared for work. And you want to create those small little wins. Like, I'm already starting out my day on the right foot. I want to continue this. And having a tidy work area, whether you're doing physical labor or you have an office desk, you have a work area, and it needs to stay tidy. Does it look like a professional works there, or does it look like someone just ransacked your office looking for money? That's going to affect you subconsciously. And you want to, like I said, you want to continue those wins. You want to continue everything flowing properly. Your conscious, your subconscious, your physical appearance, the way that people see you, the way that you see yourself. All these are little tiny wins that add up to a successful, productive day. You want to be in the right mental mindset when you're moving forward throughout the day, and it starts in the morning. Prayer, meditations, and affirmations. Why are we doing these things? Well, if you're religious, maybe you'll focus more on the prayer. If you're not religious, maybe you'll focus more on meditations or affirmations. I recommend them because it's going to focus your mindset. It's going to clear your mind. It's going to motivate you, and it's going to rewire any sort of negative thoughts that sort of kind of creep to build in that kind of work their way into your brain. I do affirmations every single morning, and I do prayer at night. Now, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to stay motivated. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay thankful. I'm trying to stay focused and clear as I move forward throughout the day, because I am giving myself a hard day's worth of work to do, and I want to make sure that my body and my mind and my mindset are all going in the same direction and not all over the place. My one thing. So what is this one thing that we keep talking about? What is this one thing that we need to get done and nothing else would really matter? So just remember, this is a task or a goal that equals a successful day. So if you have 10 things that you have to do, quote unquote, on your to-do list for that day, if you did 9 of them and you still actually didn't have much of a successful day, that was busy work. And that one thing that you skipped around and didn't do, that was the one thing. That was the actual thing that was going to move the ball forward for yourself and for your company, for your business, for your profession. Nothing else matters during the one thing. Now, when I say during the one thing, I mean that time frame when you're focusing on that one thing. In that morning, when you're focusing on your one thing, only focus on that. Emails can get replied to. People have messages on their phones. People can get back to you. Meetings can get missed. Whatever. Not everything is a complete emergency. Now, I understand that if you have to have a meeting and your boss makes you go to a meeting, that's one thing. But just remember, like, the more you get distracted during your one thing time, the longer it's going to take and the less effective you're going to be. Attributes for success. How do you know if you actually accomplished your one thing? I mean, you cross it off your list. Did you actually accomplish it? Well, let's take a look. Success is measurable and time-bound. So put a number next to your goal. Example, this project needs to be 100% show ready before I leave for the day. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that it needs to be start push button ready before I leave for the day. That means I can't be finishing anything up, no loose ends to work on tomorrow morning, and it needs to be push button ready. Is it push button ready? That's the question. If it is, then you're done. And when do you leave? Well, you leave when it is push button ready. Now that could be at 3 o'clock, it could be at 5 o'clock, or it could be at midnight. If you're in sales, how about this? I need to make 50 sales calls and get 3 yeses before I go to lunch. Okay, there's 3 numbers here actually. 50 sales calls, 3 yeses, and 12 noon for lunch. Okay, if you do 45 calls and get 3 yeses, does that mean you get to go to lunch? No, because you told yourself you have to get both. And because between that 45th call and that 50th call, you get a 4th yes. So get all of your sales calls done, all 50 of them, and get 3 yeses. That might mean that you need to go to lunch at 2 o'clock because you have to get 75 phone calls in before you get to your 3 yeses. Whatever, you did your one thing. Your one thing was to get 3 yeses and 50 sales calls in. That's when you know you got your one thing done. It's measurable and time bound. So you got your one thing done. Awesome, great. Salads for everyone. Now that's kind of a joke, obviously. I'm trying to make a point here, and the salads are a little bit of a metaphor. When you get your one thing done and you're celebrating a mini celebration during your break, you don't want to go out and eat a bunch of cheeseburgers or drink a bunch of beers or waste 4 hours playing video games because you got your one thing done and nothing else needs to get done for the day. You still need to get other stuff done. That's why I'm saying salads for everybody. It's nutrition. It's going to re-energize your body and give you the nutrients that you need. And you are setting yourself up for the second half of the day that needs to be a win. But the point is that salad, quote unquote, that metaphorical salad, needs to be something that you enjoy. So you enjoy a salad, but it also is positive in your life. You know, what gives you joy in life? What makes you feel better? What actually makes you better? Is it 5 hamburgers or is it a salad? Is it going out with your friends? for an hour during lunch, or is it sitting alone in an office by yourself, relaxing and chilling out? It could be, it depends on if you're introverted or extroverted. And remember, your celebration should be comparable to the mountain that you just climbed. If you knocked out a huge task that you never thought you would accomplish, then that is a big mountain that you just climbed, and you need to celebrate accordingly. If you did something that was hard, a little bit difficult, but you got it done in a relatively short amount of time, then your break time needs to kind of affect that. So just remember that your break time should be comparable to your time limit. So when you're doing all that mental stuff and you are finally done and you're mentally drained, what types of physical activity can you do? Well, there's 4 basic types here, and they all have different attributes. Now, obviously, I'm not a physician. I don't know your current health, so just do what makes the most sense for you. So aerobic would be running, cycling, or walking, or swimming. And this is an increased heart rate, and you're going to get you're breathing heavier. Muscle, maybe you get those endorphins running by lifting weights. Okay, great. And bone strengthening, basketball, volleyball, jumping rope, anything that has high impact on it is going to be bone strengthening. And stretching is just simple resistance bands, just stretching out the body. Either way, you want to fill that mental meter back up by doing physical activity. So, end of the day, what do you do at the end of the day? You got your one thing done. You've had your little mini celebration for the day. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to work on loose ends, like the little coulds that need to get done, busy work that needs to get done. But either way, at the end of the day, you're going to be mentally and physically wiped out. You're tired. You're burnout. You're just doing stuff that needs to get done, or that could get done, but you can't do any more hard stuff for the rest of the day. You're mentally wiped. It's that 4 o'clock feeling. Any sort of distractions that popped up, you just knock them out. Like, let's knock these out now, not during, don't put those off till tomorrow. And recap for the day. What worked? What didn't work? What could have been better? What did go well that surprised you? This is where you're going to be sharpening that axe into a sword, or the sword into the knife. What's going to make tomorrow better? And then plan for tomorrow. Based on what got done or didn't get done today, plan for tomorrow. That's what's going to make tomorrow more effective. And then, not all work is created equal. There's 3 types of work. There's growth work, there's genius zone work, and there's busy work. Growth work, that is when you're trying something brand new and you are getting out of your comfort zone. And what is success equal? How do you know if you succeeded or not? Well, you tried it and some measure of success happened. That's basically it. You got out of your comfort zone, you tried something new, that's considered success in the growth zone. Time estimation, just guess. How long is it going to take? I don't know. It's going to take an hour. Okay, let's multiply that times 10. It's going to take 10 hours because you have no idea. Who knows? Who cares? Just throw a number up there. Genius zone. This is something where your growth zone, you worked on something in your growth zone for long enough. Now you've mastered it. So an example of this would be you becoming an accountant, and you're in college and you're taking your classes. You're learning about credits and debits and depreciation and all those different types of tables that you have to focus on, and different types of balance sheet, income statements, the whole 9. And it's always new. It's always new. There's always a test, and you're always learning something new. That is your growth zone. So what is your genius zone? I've been a CPA for the last 10 years. I'm in my genius zone now. I can look at a quarterly report from a company that can give me all their numbers, and within a day or two, I can have their quarterly report 100% done. If you are just out of a accounting school and you've gotten your CPA and you've got that quarterly report thrown at you, it might take you the entire quarter just to get that quarterly report done the first time that you do it, because you're still in your technical growth zone because you've never done that before. Your genius zone is where the one thing gets done most effectively. This is when you're doing your genius zone. Your one thing is inside of your genius zone. So if you're a mechanic and you're working on a car, that is your genius zone. And I think There's some questions that we're going to go through here. I think what we might do later on is create a video that's solely on the Genius Zone. If you want to see a video based solely on the Genius Zone, make a note down in the comments if you would, please. So some questions you're to ask yourself if you know if you're in your Genius Zone or not, or what is your Genius Zone? Well, where are you most valuable? What is your skill set? That's where your Genius Zone is. Where does time seem to slip away? And I don't mean it slips away because you're doing busy work. It means that you've been working on that quarterly report and 4 or 5 hours have gone by, and you look up the clock and you're like, oh my goodness, 4 or 5 hours have gone by? I thought it's only been like maybe an hour. It's effortless is basically what I'm trying to get here. Where do you have a clear competitive advantage? So every car mechanic out there has a clear competitive advantage over me when it comes to working on my car. I know the very basics of fluid changing, tire air pressure. I can change the tire on my car. That's it. That's the basics of what I know about car maintenance. A mechanic knows a lot more than I do, and they have a clear competitive advantage over me when it comes to that. Who are you? If you're better than the masses at it, at a certain skill or trade, that's where your competitive advantage lies. And time, your time is optimal. If you say, man, it's gonna take me about an hour to get this done, and then an hour goes by and it's done, and you look up the clock, it's been an hour and 5 minutes, and you say you're done, that's where you're at. You're in the Genius Zone. Busy work. This is where a lot of people are that don't have a lot of time. They're in the busy zone. They're in the busy work area. Anything that you can do on autopilot, anything that can be delegated, anything that can be batched, anything that can be systematized or eliminated completely. Anything that does not move the ball forward in your life in any significant way is busy work. You getting that electric bill out to the electric company on time the very single day that you get it is busy work. When you look at your electric bill and it says it came on the 1st and it's not due till the 20th, they're giving you 20 days to write a check or click some buttons on the computer screen to send them money. So that's busy work. Someone else can create a bill and send it. That can be something a bookkeeper does, and they can knock out way more bills in an hour than what you can. How do I estimate the time? Well, you estimate the time and then divide by 10. And the reason why I say that is because people will expand the amount of time they think it takes to get busy work done. That's going to take me all day to write this email up and send it. No, it's not. I bet you can get it done in 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it gets done in 10 minutes. That's the basic overview. Congratulations. Great. Now, remember our analogy here. We're looking at the axe. This is where we're going to start out here. This is the first viewing of the video. You're sharp, but you're not as sharp as a dagger or a straight razor. You're going to want to hone in on this. What's working? What's not working? And we still need to talk about checks and balances, root causes, and going from good to great. And we will see you guys then. And this is how you, in the next video, we talked about how you do it. Now we're going to talk, the next video is going to talk about how you get better at it. So guys, thoughts, opinions, what did you guys think about this? Did we answer all your questions? What has stopped you in the past from reaching your financial goals? What types of videos would you like to see next or in the near future? Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps out the channel. And if you're on Facebook, check us out at 9 to 5ers. Guys, we are here to make you smarter today and richer tomorrow. Have a good one.